Okay, well, I made it. You can see, maybe better from over here, how undercut that is. It runs all the way back to the edge of that little cliff slash side of the adit right there. I came around this way, which is not quite as easy as it might look. And that is where we were exploring before. And that is where we came into the mine. So, looking ahead, let's see what we're dealing with. Well, right in front of us is a lot of collapse material, which is never fun. But, oh, this looks good. Well, it doesn't look good, but that will be easier to get across. So we can get across that. And as you can see, it keeps going down there. So, let's proceed. Here's a closer look at that second pit we're going to make our way through, and the area beyond. And here's a look back at all that material that sloughed off. See, a big chunk came out there and fell into the adit here. You still see the remains of the timbers and such mixed in. So, no reason to hang out here for too long. Continuing on. Big jumble of pipes and such here. Yeah, I think what I'm walking on now is what were older workings, because it looks like sort of the shape. I don't know if you can tell or not. Sort of the shape, or the the top of an adit right there. So I think what we have here is newer workings that collapsed into older workings, and you can still see. That's interesting. You see the tires, the remains of the tire tracks here. They just plunge off into this pit right here. The only way you'd have a pit is if you had openings underneath, which presumably would come from older workings. So another look back where we came. It's almost like a pillar there right now. I just scrambled up from down there, and we've got an interesting layout here. We've got something running off that way and this way, and then more appealingly down that way. And I say more appealingly because it's in better shape. In front of us here, you can see that this was just a massive collapse. That right there is an enormous timber, probably 2 feet thick, and you can see how it just got crushed by all that material coming down. So I'm not kidding when I say that this is not a very structurally sound mine. That is ugly, ugly. And it appears we have the same situation here. Before I go check that out, though, I just wanted to show you this this board they put here. This looks almost like it's done with a chainsaw. I mean, that's obviously, you can see this is the tree side there, and then somebody just like I said, it could have been done with a chainsaw or something. Made this side flat. I don't know what they were thinking they were going to do with that, since it wouldn't hold up something like that, but who knows. So looking over here, again, ugly, ugly collapse. I don't know if this was a stope at one time or what. Okay, I gotta stop and comment on this because this is interesting. So we've got these little strings of iron coming down off the ceiling again here, the top of the adit. But then look what they're forming on the ground. They're forming these little Dr. Seuss looking, are they called stalagmites? And I get stalactites and stalagmites mixed up. I think they're stalagmites when they're on the ground. So you've got these early stalagmites. Anyway, go back to the topic at hand. I don't know if this was a stope at one time or what, but this is just come down completely. See, at one time it went back there some more. But this is done in all capital letters. There's just some big chunks that have come down here. And back there as well. So that just leaves that section that was running down this way, which again, it looks like it's in better shape, so I am not too sorry about that. So I just was looking around in this area, and we are starting down this little passageway here, this drift here, and I noticed there's more and more evidence of workings beneath us. You see that drops down for a ways there as well. So I really think my theory about newer workings collapsing into older workings is accurate. So, continuing on, runs off that way, and here we have a chamber. It looks like it was backfilled with some rickety pieces of wood stuck in front of it. I really don't know what they would have thought that those would do, unless they were just screening it off with plastic, which is possible. I'm trying to see how far, oh man, looks like there are workings back here. I was hoping to be able to avoid this. Yeah, it keeps running back that way. And you see, I think this is backfill. I don't think this is collapse. It could be collapse, but it looks more like backfill to me. So, yeah, and it looks like it stops back there. It goes maybe another 75 feet or so and then stops. I really don't feel like clambering back there to prove it. So just trust me, it goes back there and stops. So let's keep going down this more attractive looking drift. Continuing our way down. I wish the whole mine was like this. This is very nice. Spacious, dry, level surface to walk on. I am enjoying this. It says Sam right there. Ooh. There are some large ventilation tubes, or ventilation, yeah, that might have been a ventilation bag right there. A ventilation tubing ahead of us with an older one underneath it. And this must drop down from above and go into the left. Oh, wow. That is not pretty. Look at that. Ugh. Alright, I'll look at that in a minute. Let's see. We got some big timbers splitting right there. Yeah, this stuff obviously dropping down from above. Got a major heavy-duty door right here. I'm not really sure why though, because this doesn't go anywhere. That's what this. Well, I was gonna say dynamite storage, but that wouldn't really make sense underground here. So, oh, duh, it keeps going. Okay, that's easy enough. So, just want to point out these bad timbers right here. You see some material has come down here. Maybe this went somewhere at one time, but obviously not going that way now. And oh, this, man, I'm getting dripped on. This is not going anywhere either. I wonder if this runs into the older workings that the newer workings collapse down onto, if that makes sense. In other words, that pit that I crossed, I wonder if this ran into that. That would be my guess, because like I said, I think these are the older workings that were tied into. But obviously I'm not going to be able to get through that. Even that little piece right there only gets back a couple more feet before becoming completely crushed underneath all that material. Got some very red, looks like blood, water in front of us. So, looking out, that's where we came in from, right there. Another view of those sketchy timbers. And that door right there. Now we've got that other ugly, ugly section to check out of there. And I want to get another look at those huge timbers right there. Those are really enormous timbers. And then we now have this in front of us. And it looks flooded. Let's take a closer look. So the top of the attic came down here, and when it did, it brought these on the side down with it and made that little pile there. So let's get over that and see what is waiting for us back here. That is where I just made my way through. Behind me, we have some real nastiness. We have pitch black water. I'm not kidding. See the color of the water contrasted there with the tubing. And it's pretty deep. You see that stuff is dropping down into it. There, and that descends, keeps descending down because you see the top of the attic descends down into the water. Over this way, there are some large timbers there, and that gallery of timbers keeps going a ways. And I can't tell if that just bends back there, or if that's a collapse, or what. But you guys know I'm willing to do a lot, but I would have to swim through this black water because it's very deep, and it smells kind of funny. It's stagnant, and I'm not kidding about it being pitch black. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I'm also by myself. So for all of those reasons, I am not going to swim through this to see what's over there. This mine's already sketchy enough. I don't need to add another layer of sketchiness to it. So this was an interesting mine. I'll be curious to know how much deeper this ran, and I'm sorry that we won't find out. Like I said, all this is underwater, so I suspect that much more in the way of workings were down below. Maybe there was some stoping or something over there, but I suspect the majority of the stuff is still down below us, which unfortunately we'll never see since it is underwater. One last thing I want to show you guys before I get out of here is this timbering here, which I thought was interesting. You've got the lagging here, which is pretty cool. I always think that's cool anyway. And do you see how many logs they jammed in there? Isn't that wild? And of course you've got this one running down here. And then up above, you've got a whole forest up there. Look at that. That's probably 5-6 feet thick. Not down there, of course, but at the thickest point, that is probably 5 or 6 feet thick. Isn't that wild? So, this is that first junction we came to when we were exploring the mine, and I was initially confused by it, but it makes sense to me now. So, this is the main haulage adit for the modern mine. You can see all that mist coming in. And over here, these were older workings, and so they blocked them off. Same here. And below us here, these were also older workings, which we saw when we wrapped down that way. And so the LHD would come in, go around the bend here, and used to drive across here before it collapsed. and used to drive across there before it collapsed, and would corkscrew down into the lower workings and extract the ore from down there and then bring it back up. And the confusing part was where it intersected these older workings, but now that we've explored it, it makes sense to me. I understand it.